Hey there, it's Stephanie Shea, Chief Astrologer for janspiller.com with your monthly horoscope. And this one is for you, Cancer. This is your special July birthday horoscope edition. But of course, if your birthday was towards the end of last month, this is also a happy birthday horoscope for you. Now, here is what's coming up in the month of July. We actually have another Cancer new moon this month. This year is special for you, Cancer. There are actually 2 new moons in your sun sign, which is a bit of a rarity. We had a new moon solar eclipse at 0 degrees Cancer last month around the solstice, either June 20th or 21st, depending on your time zone. And that was a big deal. When there's a new moon in your sun sign, it always signifies an astrological new year, a time to set some big picture goals for the coming year. However, the 0 degree Cancer solar eclipse was an extra high powered new moon. So that gave you a lot of oomph, especially if your birthday was right around the cusp of the first day of Cancer. However, we get a second Cancer new moon in July. This is great news because what happened is last month's new moon was during both Venus and Mercury retrograde. What can happen during that is you can feel a little more confused about what your intentions are. And it's definitely not a good time to initiate new action, even if you were sure about it. So it could have felt a bit frustrating, like there was a roadblock, either a mental block or actual circumstances that were blocking you from moving forward with a goal. Now, at this new moon, which is going to be July 20th at 28 degrees of Cancer, it is free from these inner planet retrogrades. Both Mercury and Venus will be moving direct at that time. So this is a fantastic new moon to restate the intentions that you did feel sure about last month. And you can reword or just eliminate the other intentions and really tighten up your goals. You still have that power with this Cancer new moon. And it's especially going to support Cancers who were born July 20th or 22nd, or 20 through 22nd, right, of any month. And you could be in store for some really big personal changes in the coming year whenever the new moon falls right on the day of your birthday or within a day or so. It's a big year ahead. So that's going to be coming up later this month. But what we have first at the beginning of the month is a full moon lunar eclipse. And of course, the sign of Cancer is very lunar attuned. You probably feel every full moon. When it's a big lunar eclipse event, you got to really give yourself some space and not get too overwhelmed with emotions. This lunar eclipse is going to be in the sign of Capricorn. Cancers who were born between July 3rd to July 7th will feel the awakening energies of this eclipse the most. And awakening can be such a good thing, but it can feel very emotionally intense right at the time of the eclipse. So you can know a few days after July 5th, things will probably feel a lot calmer and you'll be able to see more clearly what you need to do. Relationship issues could come to light around this time. And if you and a partner have been working on a shared goal, that something could come to fruition. You could finally see some results. Now, if you become aware of things that you're not happy with, especially related to a past or present relationship, consider how you can use this information to help you move forward. And I would definitely avoid initiating those important conversations until a few days after the eclipse has passed. And you'll have more rational conversations with others. It's not just you that gets emotionally elevated during the lunar eclipses. It can happen to all sun signs. Now, all month we've got the outer planets of Jupiter and Pluto traveling quite closely. They had an exact conjunction. They were at the same degree of Capricorn last month, but they're very close still this month. And this is going to re-emphasize some of the themes of this lunar eclipse for you. And it's going to encourage you to look beneath the surface and get to the truth. It's a really good time for self-discovery all month long. figuring out what you need to successfully navigate relationships. And instead of focusing on how to change someone else, it's really directing you to make the internal changes needed to attract positive energies your way. Both Jupiter and Pluto are traveling retrograde at this time, which turns all the energy inward. You have a lot of power to make changes within yourself, but not so much for influencing others. So you can really make that a focus. On July the 12th, here's the good news. Mercury is going to station direct in your sun sign. You've probably been feeling this past Mercury retrograde cycle, which started back on June 18th, because it's been in the sign of Cancer. Now, once it goes direct after the 12th, as the month goes on, you'll probably find it easier to organize your thoughts and make an action plan. And you'll probably have an easier time making yourself understood and exchanging ideas with others. So that's the great news for us. We've got the sun moving into the sign of Leo on July 22nd, and this is going to bring in a really playful energy. So you're going to be supported in some creative pursuits and making time to experience joy. It's possible to make money from one of your creative ideas as the sun is in Leo in the next month. So keep that in mind. We're getting a little bit of a breather from some of this intense retrograde energy of 2020 in the second half of July, and all of August is looking pretty good to start pushing a few things forward for yourself. So I hope you can make the most of this month's astrology. Have a very happy birthday, or I hope you had a happy birthday if it's already happened. And I will see you back here next month with your horoscope.